Hello, everyone, and welcome to my cruise channel. I just sailed on the Norwegian Breakaway after a 5-year break from them after sailing on the Bliss. It wasn't what I was expecting. Here's what went well as what could be done better. Embarkation was a bit tedious. Despite checking in online when it opened up, we had issues that required us to present documentation in person as well. I did like that they put the muster drill in as part of the check in process because once we finally got through the check in, all, all we had to do was proceed to the muster station and have them scan our key cards. Key cards were picked up at the check in desk. Now, one thing we did like was the fact that they had several options for embarkation lunch. Now, I know other lines do this as well, and honestly, by eating elsewhere other than buffet, it made me feel more relaxed, not having to deal with the crowds and the long lines. We chose to eat we chose to eat at the American Diner, which is complimentary and has things like hot dogs, hamburgers, things like that. Hey everybody, we're on the Norwegian Breakaway and we have a balcony cabin, which is where I'm shooting this from. Now, it is the narrowest balcony cabin I've ever seen in my life, but it actually seems pretty comfortable, plenty of storage. But from here to a glass door, I can literally put my arm out and touch the end of the balcony. So if you're looking for something that's more spacious, maybe you might want to consider a different cabin, but all in all, we're pretty happy with it. So the way that this particular cabin works is it sleeps 4 people, and there's a pull down, which I'll show you guys in a minute. There's a pull down from the ceiling that sleeps the 4th person. So definitely an option for if you're cruising with your family, but if you're looking for something that's maybe a little bit wider, I would go with another cabin type. So this is our cabin. As you can see, it is not really the most spacious for 4 people. I was in the bottom bunk and I could barely use the closet. So a personal improvement for me was having the activities in the atrium, although it was also a bit of a distraction. It was a plus because it allowed for more seating at the activities across multiple decks. However, it was also a distraction because they were right next to guest services, making the area very loud and hard to communicate with the customer service agent. I would consider either moving the activities to a different space or relocating the customer service desk just to make communication a little bit easier. Next was the Breakaway Theater, which was surprisingly comfortable, albeit only one deck and without a balcony. I was surprised to find extra legroom between the seats. As a tall person, definitely appreciated that. The performers themselves were also top notch, and shows included Burn the Floor, Red, White, and British, and a Broadway review, and Sid Norman's Presents Rumors. My personal favorite was Burn the Floor, which is a ballroom style show and was on Broadway for a number of years. I also enjoyed the Broadway review, which featured songs from Wicked, Hamilton, Les Mis, and Little Shop of Horrors. I did enjoy learning the story of Rumors, as well as finding out about some of my favorite Fleetwood Mac songs and how they came to be. All of the performers were extremely talented as well. I do have a side note for the shows. If you look in the app and try to reserve the shows, it will tell you that you can't reserve the shows until closer to your sale date. If you try to get reservations for the show closer to your sale date, you'll be told that it's too close to your sale date to actually reserve the show online and to go to the box office once on board. I got this message and tried to reserve using the kiosks on board at guest services and was told that no reservations were needed for any of the shows. Hey guys, it's Kristen. I'm right at the atrium, right in front of Teppanyaki. So this is where you're gonna find all sorts of like the art gallery and the shopping and things like that. Future Cruise. There's also I just got out of Harry Potter trivia. So this is where all of the activity is gonna be. You're also gonna find lots of activity on deck 5, I think it is, and deck 15 or 16 for the outdoors. Now, we also did O'Shea's, which is the Irish pub. I'd never been to an Irish pub before, so this was quite a new experience for me. I did like the specialty hot dog that they had, and it had plenty of room for everyone, despite being in a heavily trafficked area. I was quite comfortable and regret not being able to go there more often. We did do the buffet most days as well, and honestly had no complaints with the food. Our complaint was with the passengers taking water bottles that they had used all day without washing and then putting them right under the refill station. Although Norwegian does have a sign posted saying not to do this and to use the glass provided to refill the water bottles, I personally did not see this enforced. We also tried Savor in the Manhattan Room. Now, the Manhattan Room is a New York City style supper club with live performances and a dance floor. They also had amazing wake views. The only downside for me was that they had the same menu as the other dining rooms and the options didn't change. We did love the location as we like to catch the show at night in the theater, and eating in the Manhattan dining room provided easy access to being on the same deck. We also tried Savor, which is another main dining room. This wasn't our favorite as the service was somewhat slower. We had to skip dessert to make our show, which was across the ship on another deck. What we did enjoy was the pools and the water slides. Sophie and I went down each of the water slides about 10 times or so per slide. We didn't do the drop slides, we did the family and the racer slides. We did like the fact that the stairs to get up to the slide were completely shaded and not far from the family pools. We also enjoyed the pools a lot, especially the adult pool. It's almost 7 feet deep, so even tall people can't touch the bottom. There's a nice waiting area on either side of the pool for those who wish to sunbathe. Our only complaint was, unlike other lines, they didn't have a mat or anything to walk down when the deck is hot. But there is one area where Norwegian outshines the other cruise lines, in my opinion, as we saw this happen firsthand. They're really strict with their chair hogs. For those who don't know, chair hogs are people that wake up early in the morning, place the items on a lounge chair, and even leave for several hours, taking away chairs from other passengers. On many cruise lines, I didn't see rules enforced saying that they'll remove the belongings from the chairs after a certain amount of time. This isn't the case with Norwegian. After about 15 minutes or so of chairs being unattended, staff will put a red sticker on your belongings, and if you're not back within the next few minutes, your things will be removed and can be claimed at guest services. Their policy, while strict, allows everyone the opportunity to enjoy the loungers. So, my seasoned cruisers, have you ever cruised on Norwegian Breakaway before? We would love to hear your comments. And as always, bon voyage!